a subsidiary company or an associate company. Depending on the shareholdings you are having of a foreign company, it becomes a holding company and a subsidiary company. So if that relationship is established, then the fund starts and having a lot of must have detailed business plan with 3 years. So when you are establishing, what I have seen in most of the countries, that when you are starting a new business in that particular country, particularly the Western countries in Europe, North America, they would like to see that if you are establishing a business in our country, we want to see that what is your plan? What is your business plan? Do you have a 3 years of a projections of your finances? Generally, the government would like to see that if you are doing a business of a construction, so you are in a construction industry, if you are in a manufacturing industry, you are into a related business. Because generally the mentality is or trade is that if I'm in a manufacturing industries or particularly, then I'll be doing a similar business in a foreign country. If I'm a lawyer and if I'm now in Canada, I'll be doing something related to legal work rather than doing something else. So the government also, for most of the countries where I have worked, what I realize is that they would like to see that what is your background? What business you are doing as an SMEs, small and medium-sized enterprise, and show us that you are doing something related to it. And that's where we feel that you're going to be more successful rather than doing something else. For a big company or a multinational corporation, it might be different things. But that is not a written rule that you cannot do it. But most of the time, the government would like to see that you're doing something related to your activity in a home country. And when you are making an investment into a foreign country or starting a new company, you have to show that how it is going to be helpful to a local economy, particularly what jobs you are going to create, what investment you are going to make. And those things should be very clear in your mind as a business when you go and make an investment. Particularly countries like Middle Eastern countries and African countries, this may not be that relevant because they are still developing countries and these questions may not come. But when as an Indian company, you're trying to make an investment into North America, in European countries, in Australia, in New Zealand, they're going to ask you these questions. That what investment you're going to make and how it is going to be beneficial to our country. On top of that one, how much job do you think that you're going to create? When you have a new ventures in a new country and you open it up and now you want to transfer your people from India to take care, it's possible. Probably you want to send your general manager, you want to send your engineer or a key people or as a partner or as a director of the company, you want to go yourself and head that joint venture, a new venture in Africa or in Europe or in North America. It's possible. But you cannot take the laborers when it comes to the European countries, North America. In Africa, in Middle East, it might be possible because anyway there is a labor shortage in those countries. But when it comes to the Western world and when you are establishing a new company, the government would like to see that the people who are working or going to come from India in our country, either they are at the managerial level or they are technical people that you locally you cannot find. So recently I helped the two companies in Ahmedabad. They made an investment. One made an investment in Europe, another one made an investment into Canada. And they taken over 65% shares of the Canadian company and about 90% of the shares in in European companies. They said, well, the staff is fine, but we want our person to go and look after, basically streamline the process, take care of the management, money-wise also is taking care of it. So we help them to transfer the people, general managers or engineers from India to work there. Must be at the managerial level or have a specialized technical knowledge. as I said, that if you want to transfer the people, particularly in the Western countries, if we are doing a project something like in Africa or in the Middle Eastern countries particularly, we will not have a problems with respect to the managerials or technical people. Obviously, you can take them, but even you can take the laborers from here. I'm working with one company in Bombay that they are having operations in about 8 different countries, and they are on a regular basis taking the people in Africa whenever they have a project. So they basically make the estimate that these are the people required. We go to the labor department of the particular country and make a request that these are the manpowers, we're going to bring it from India. They look at the projects, look at the manpower requirement, and then they give an approval that these peoples you can bring it in. But when we're talking about the Western countries like North America, European countries, Australia, New Zealand, Hong Kong, Singapore, the laborers you cannot take. But if they are at the managerial levels, or if they are at the technical people, whether it could be an IT company, it could be a manufacturing industry, it could be a service industry, you're allowed to take it. And when you transfer the people from India, they can be going on a temporary work permit basis, subsequently can be converted into a permanent immigrations if they want to stay there, based on the requirement created by the company. That this person, particular person who has come from India as a general manager, he has lived with the company for 5 years. Now his presence is crucial and we would like to hire him on a permanent basis. So the second part was starting a new company or incorporating a new company and starting a new business all over the new by yourself. The third part is purchase or acquire an existing business, which is WOS, it's a wholly owned subsidiaries, or JVs as a joint venture. The technical aspects of doing this business remains the same. Incorporate a company, buy and rent an office, open a bank account, obtain necessary business license, hire local staff to run and manage business operation, and no tax benefits as expenses of the foreign operations cannot be claimed in Indian tax returns. But purchase and acquiring an existing business, not necessary it should be same or related to the Indian business, not necessary. In the first one, I have seen most of the countries, when you are starting a new business, they will say it should be related to your industries, and that's where we will see that you're going to be successful. But say for example, if you are acquiring a company, and if it is not related, government says fine, if you want to venture into a new area, you are running a chain of restaurants in India, and now you want to get into a hotel in America, we are fine, we have no problem. You are in the manufacturing industries and you want to acquire now a travel agency in New York, we are fine. Because if you see the difference, in the first one, you are not making a commitment of money. You are starting from zero, new company, new business. So what business that company is going to do, we don't know. Probably they want to see, and that's why they want to see the balance sheets or the projections for the business plan for 3 years. But when you are acquiring a company, they'll say, okay, you go ahead and make the investment. We have no problem. Must be beneficial to the economy of the foreign country by joint ventures or wholly owned subsidiaries. Obviously, even if you are taking over a company, the government would like to see that what you're going to do with your company, which you are acquiring. Are you going to have a monopoly? Like I have seen big deals happening in North America or in European countries, where if the foreign company comes over and take over these local companies in a big way, the government has said no to them. Why? Because it can become a monopoly. So many cases the government, when you acquire, they want to see that the consumer's interest is taken care of. So you cannot come and take over all the travel agencies or a manufacturing unit and you become the sole company in Europe to distribute particular steel. Then it becomes a monopoly. Monopoly creates the problems. The price beneficial won't be to the consumer.